Hello everyone, welcome to the Gardening 101 series. We're super excited to have you here. It's been a long time in the making. Catherine is jumping. But it's been quite some time since we've been preparing for this, and it's come together with so many collaborators and sponsors to make this possible even during COVID. So we're super stoked to have you here and join us. The Gardening 101 series will be a 6-week virtual series happening on Zoom at 11 a.m. on Saturdays. I am one of your co-instructors, and Anca is our other co-instructor.
Everyone.
Yeah, and we have a group of garden mentors, just project teammates from the Aggies Veggies team here with us alongside all the participants. Yeah, so let's see. Today, we'll be going over a brief outline of this workshop and then the 6-week series that we have planned. I believe you all have received some information on Canvas with the workshop plans. We'll cover that, and then we'll also be sharing more information about the research study that I will be coordinating in conjunction with this workshop series. We'll also go over the Zoom norms that we want to set, and then before we jump into the icebreaker and our demo presentation of potting soil at the end, and then just have some time for final announcements, including a note about the gardening kits. Do we have any questions before we dive into that? Okay, great. And then, so for the 6-week
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
I have a question. When people have questions, can they ask them out loud like I'm doing right now? Should they put up their hand?
We will go over that really soon in our Zoom norms, and I just want to be more clear about the purpose of recordings as well. At this moment, just wanted to let you know everything's spotlighted on me, so no other participants are being viewed right now on the recording. But thanks for the question, Katharina. So for the outline of this workshop series, let's see. These are the 6 workshop topics that we'll be covering. You've already received this, but we'll be going over why do we garden, and then planting, transplanting, how to take care of my plants. And then the 5th workshop will have a special design your own garden project where all participants will be coming up with their own gardens. And then we have a TBD presentation. And I really want to we really wanted to tailor these workshops around all the participants and your interests. So we're actually going to do a poll in a bit. But the workshop series in general will be, everyone will be receiving their own gardening kits and growing their own salad garden veggies by the end of the workshops. We'll be connecting over different gardening spaces and connecting with our participants, connecting with in the workshop series about why we garden. So we're super excited to do that with y'all. And then this is the topics that we would like to cover potentially for workshop 5. So I'm going to launch a poll. Once again, as an intro to my research study, we are really interested in seeing the impacts of these gardening workshops and the relationship between gardening and students' food choice, lifestyles, and identities. So if you are interested in participating in this research study, please email me and just express your interest, or also feel free to ask any questions. But the research study will involve a follow-up interview or focus group session at the end of these series. And it's completely voluntary. You don't have to participate in the research, but anyone who does will be compensated with a $20 gift card as well. Yeah, so any questions about my research study or what it involves? Okay, feel free to email me as well. So I got set up in my backyard. Apologies for any car sounds because I am living right by the street. But if you can see, there's a planter box, and each of you will be getting a planter box. For all the non-local participants, have you all been getting gardening items mailed to your doors? Yay, that's exciting. For all the local students, we'll be sharing about the gardening notes in a bit, but you'll be getting your gardening kit this week. So potting soil, what is it? Does anyone know? Like potting soil, you can use it for soil to plant different flowers or veggies in a raised bed or in containers. I have some raised beds in my backyard in the corner right over there. But potting soil is a great mixture because there are different components to make it more aerated. So it's not just regular garden soil that can get really compact. So there's 3 components. One of them is perlite, which is kind of like volcanic rock. And I'm going to add some into this. There's also compost. We kind of mentioned about the compost. It's great, nutrient dense, compost. And we'll be adding 3 parts, 1 part each of perlite and compost. And then the last but not least is the coconut coir, which is kind of, if you can imagine a coconut, like the pith of it. And I have a whole bunch here that was in a block that was like super dense, and I just expanded it by adding water. And so there's coconut coir right here. And you can see inside there's coconut coir, perlite, and compost, and we're just gonna mix it all together. And that's our potting soil. Everyone will be receiving a pre-mixed bag of potting soil in the mail or in their gardening kits, and that is what we will be using as a medium to plant our radish seeds, green onion bulbs. Also, I'm just really enjoying this experience of mixing with my hands. And cherry tomato seedlings, basil, and what am I forgetting? Lettuce. Yeah, so and I just wanted to share that next week we'll be planting radishes. It's not going to be like this in a week, but I just got this from a local garden. Super excited that we can be growing our own food to have from home. Any questions? Ta-da!
Do you have any plants? Borah, do you have any plants that you could place in your?
Actually, yes, I do. I really wanted to take this time to also just thinking about spring coming up. Spring's already here, right? And then Easter, as someone who celebrates Easter, but also just wanted to share this special flower planting as well. I got some alyssum flowers. They're called sweet alyssum flowers. So let's see.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
And can I ask the entomologists in the room, do you know why we like alyssum?
I'm not sure.
That one of those plants that's good at repelling bugs, or is that a different one?
It's one that's really good at attracting the good bugs.
Oh.
Yeah, so it'll attract all sorts of bugs that help control the bad bugs, and also pollinators will use it too.
Oh, wow. Thanks for sharing.
There are some bad bugs that like it though. Just a heads up. You got to watch out.
Yay for pollinators.
We'll be continuing on in our following week. Also, let's go through our announcements. Any questions about potting soil or anything we've shared so far?
I was gonna ask, does it matter, like the measurements? Like, is it possible to put too much of something into your potting soil mix?
I'd say everyone has their own potting soil mixture, and there can be other components as well added to potting soil, like vermiculite, or instead of compost, another type of fertilizer or nutrient space. And they will be, basically it'll be a component of nutrients and something to, like a soil medium, and then something to add aeration.
I will say for a class, one of the activities we did was create our own potting soil mix. And so I can say you can add too much perlite. I think a third or less is a good amount. Don't do half and half. It doesn't work.
Unless you have plumerias where you kind of need half.
Yeah.
I think there is a question about the kit, Laura.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go over the kits right now. Thanks for bringing that up. For all the non-local students, please check your mail and you'll be getting all I've listed out the items on the workshop plans as well, and we'll be following up with more information about the gardening kits. But for local participants, please note that pickup and delivery will be this week at the student farm. We'll share more information about where exactly that is, how to meet up for socially distanced pickups, and for anyone who's designated drop-off is preferred while they're living in Davis, we will be delivering it this week. So most likely Friday. And then other announcements, we have a take-home challenges. If you've seen the handouts and the files on Canvas, we have handouts for you all to consult and to write notes if you'd like. We have a couple challenges that you can choose from. Don't feel like you need to do all of them, but pick and choose and write them down for yourself. It's either, you can read these below. Visit a farmer's market if you have one in your community, or a local garden. Chat with the farmer or gardener, ask them, what are you growing or what are you planting right now? And or you could go to a supermarket and see all the foods available. What kind of produce is on sale? Where is it grown? Why do you think why do you think that is? And then please connect with your mentor or mentee throughout the week. Any questions with these announcements?
I have a. Go ahead.
Hello?
I was gonna ask about I'm not local to Davis at the moment. All the items we were supposed to receive, are they on one shipment or multiple?
They will likely be in multiple shipments because they are being distributed from a warehouse.
Oh, okay.
From Amazon.
So whatever I'm missing, should I expect to come in before class next week?
Yes, that is most likely. I think we ordered them like 2 weeks ago, so I'm hoping that everyone will get the items in the mail by this week. But we will be delivering seedlings. That's gonna come in a bit later, and that's all right because the seedlings won't be needed until workshop 3.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe, Borah, we can also check in with everyone that's getting things shipped to them and give them the list of what they should have received and find out if people are missing stuff, because sometimes stuff definitely goes missing.
For sure.
The other thing that I was going to check was, I know one person earlier was asking about like gardening in an apartment versus like having space outside. And I was wondering if you could talk about that a little bit in relation to this workshop.
We'll be mostly gardening in containers. If anyone does have space, like a raised bed or their own containers to grow in, for sure, you feel free to use those. But all the veggies that we will be planting, the seeds and the seedlings that we have provided containers, which will be this 18-inch planter box, but also like a grow bag, like a fabric pot that will be for the tomato seedling. So everyone should be able to garden from wherever they are. And just you can connect with your mentor if you have questions about like where should I plant my container, or indoors, outdoors, patio. You can check. Feel free to email or connect with your co-instructors or mentors about that. Does that answer that question? I hope. Yeah. Okay. Any last questions, comments?
I wanted to ask about the soil. So you made your own mix, but what's the difference with making your own mix and like buying one just like already mixed from the store?
Great question. Anca and I first, we were actually going to send everyone this perlite, compost, and cocoa core for everyone to mix on their own. And it was just crazy trying to distribute that for the local and non-local participants. So we ended up just sending it a pre-mixed bag. It's, I think, completely fine to buy a purchase soil already pre-mixed. I think the only way, like for people who want to know what is actually going into their soil, you have more control when you buy like organic this or that, or any kind of like. There's a lot more about potting soil that Laura probably could share more about. But
Also, it's if you buy a pre-mixed bag, it's going to be more expensive than if you buy separate bags and make your own mix. And also, if you have different plants that require different types of soil, then maybe buying a pre-mixed general use bag will not be your best option. You want to buy different components so you can make your own mix. Like, for example, I mentioned earlier plumeria, right? You need a lot of perlite. If you buy an already mixed bag, then that's not going to be good for your plant. But that was a very good question. Thank you.